Oh, that's what the problem is. Okay. Let me grab me something to eat. Gonna be kind of a long video. But Trump shut down the border. This means that the previous administration could have did the same thing with an executive order. They just didn't want to because we were part of the global compact of migration in which the United Nations controlled our borders. Well, Trump done shut down the border and he done got rid of the CBP1 app that gave them their court dates to go to court and all that, honey. All the court dates have been canceled. And from what I read earlier, he got rid of some of the immigration judges as well. And they were starting into Chicago at the work sites and everything, and somebody leaked that information. So the illegals is scared and they're not gonna show up to work tomorrow. So they probably won't hit Chicago tomorrow. But what they gonna do now? Now they ain't gonna even let nobody know when they coming. They just gonna come and they gonna get you that way. You can run, but you can't hide. I'll be right back. Oh, oh shoot! I thought I took this off. Oh, oh, I did. I thought I had. Dang. Yep, you can run, but you can't hide, and that's a fact. So I'm happy. I'm very, 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 very happy. So we're gonna go through what these migrants have been doing and why I'm happy that they going back. First of all, the group was formed in the late 2000s of the Venezuelan Trinidad gang, and it started at Venezuelan Argua State Tucuran prison. So Trump one line when he said they came from prisons, mental institutions, the worst of the worst. They did release them. American intelligence agencies believe there are over 1,000 TDA members in the United States right now. Members are often identified by visible tattoos. A popular one is anything com- com- commem- commemorating Michael Jordan or his jersey number 23. But clocks, trains, crowns, and I seen someone at where I work part time at Amazon, and he had that crown, and he had turned it across his leg. So I knew they don't speak English, and I pointed to him. Then I pointed to my tattoo. I was like, "Nice," but so I could get a closer look. I said, "Wow, they here in Michigan. They here." And gas masks are also favored by gang members. The gang is believed to have originated in Venezuelan prisons and moved north over the last decade, but its reputation with the U.S. has grown this year, in part due to a number of high profile crimes linked to the gang, with many believed to have arrived by coming across the southern border as part of the sharp increase in migration in the recent years. A Custom and Border Protection bulletin in March alerted agents CBP. Oh, I need to. Let me edit this. I thought I said that wrong. Mm, it's CBP1 app. Okay. Let me fix that real quick. All right. In March, alerted agents to tattoos and other identifiers of the gang Federal authorities had previously warned that the gang was trying to establish itself in the U.S., and it has, and could potentially team up with the violent MS-13 gang. Representative Tony Gonzalez from Texas told Fox News Digital in an interview this year that the gang has unleashed violence across Central and South America. Also, what Trump did today, he said that the Mexican drug cartels are going to be um, on the terrorist watch list. Trinidad Tobago gang as well is going to be on the terrorist watch list. I said, oh, he ain't playing, y'all. Y'all better self-deport as you've been doing, and I'm gonna show you some videos on them leaving on their own, cause they coming for you. Now we're seeing more people coming across the border illegally with ties to Trinidad and Tobago. Until we get the border crisis under control, more and more bad actors will take advantage of the loopholes in our immigration system, thanks to our open borders, which ended today. So this is, I'm mixing some old with some new here that I want to talk about. Um, In February, New York officials linked the gang to more than 62 robberies in the city. Two suspected members of the gang were arrested in connection with a shocking assault on the police officers, NYPD police officers. The brother of the suspect in killing a Georgia student, Laken Riley, the two that raped and murdered that girl down in Texas, had ties to the gang, and in Texas, 10 migrants affiliated with the gang were arrested in May. Keep your eye on this gang, Border Patrol Chief Jesse Owens said at the time. Their criminal activities represent a serious threat to our communities. Yes, they do, and they here in Michigan and Detroit area. The gang has established a significant presence in Colorado. And then how, and it baffled me how the mayor of Denver said we're going to protect them. Brandon Johnson in Chicago, and we're going to protect them. And you like, and they causing all kind of mayhem. Eric Adams like, yeah, Trump, I'm working with you. Plus, he might need him to do a pardon on him as well. So, but you see what I'm saying? And you like, Los Angeles voted to become a sanctuary city a month ago, and you like, you can't make this up, and they causing all kind of hate, mayhem and chaos on your own citizens. Who does that? That is treason as far as I'm concerned. The game has in Colorado, Fox News Digital reported in July that TDA members have been given a green light to fire on or attack law enforcement in Denver. Wow. Wow. Just like they did in New York. And then you had the Guatemalan who set the lady on fire and then fanned the flames. Now, is that not demon possessed, or is that just insane? I'm just saying. More recently, reports have emerged of the gang taking over the two apartment buildings in Aurora, and then they lied, said it wasn't true, and yes, it was. With surveillance videos showing heavily armed men kicking down the apartment door. It was a group of them. I saw the video. I may still have it. I don't know. And they kicked down the door. The Aurora mayor said on Fox News that there are several buildings actually under the same ownership, out of state ownership, that have fallen to these Venezuelan gangs. The city has said there is only a small presence in Aurora. A small presence is still a presence. and it need to be taken care of. And that media have conflated and considerably exaggerated incidents that are isolated to a handful of problem properties. They shouldn't be doing nothing. You came in illegally. You should be keeping your nose clean. You shouldn't be doing nothing but staying out the way. Trying to establish, taking English and trying to establish yourself in another country, not causing havoc. A spokesman for the Aurora Police recently told the Denver Post that it's still too soon to quantify TDA's presence in Aurora one way or another. In a statement, the city said the police continue to identify criminals and make arrests, and also noted that residents have cited poor living conditions rather than a takeover in these properties. Meanwhile, ICE confirmed to Fox News last week that 4 known or suspected gang members arrested by police in Aurora this week connected to a shooting in July are illegal immigrants who were caught and released at the border. They done broke into the gun stores and stole the guns. I mean, you just can't make this up what they have done. Now, in an affidavit, police officer Medina suspects prostitution from the hotel and notes that Venezuelan incidents of criminal activity has increased with the introduction of TDA. So they doing human trafficking, prostitution. They done broken. They breaking into homes. They kidnapping people. They doing everything over here. Selling drugs. They doing everything, and you in another country. Don't make no sense to me. If you get in trouble, you should be deported immediately. And after that lady got burnt up, that was it for me. Now, this is a report that was conducted under Harris Acting ICE Director Patrick Lichmer said 13,000 illegal immigrants convicted of murder were let in. 15,000 sex offenders were let in. Your letter requests the number of non-citizens on ICE docket convicted of or charged with a crime. As of July 21st, 2024, there were 662,566 non-citizens with criminal histories on ICE national docket. That's over 500,000 people, which includes those detained by ICE. And on those are 435,719 are convicted criminals, and 226,847 have pending criminal charges. Y'all got to go. Walk your behind right back across the jungle. Despite the challenge of operating within a broken immigration system and in face of enormous workload and consistently limited funding, DHS continues to enforce the law to secure our borders. We are removing and returning record number of migrants who are unable to establish a legal basis to remain in the United States and prioritizing for removal of those who present national security and public safety risk and recent border crossers. DHS removed or returned more than 893,600 individuals, including more than 138,300 individuals in family units. The majority of all individuals encountered at the southwest border over the past 3 years have been removed, returned, or expelled. Now, ICE enforcement and removal operation is funded at 41,500 beds through the rest of the fiscal year. Yeah, we gonna get to Eric Adams, but we gonna oh that's not it. Hey, we talking about honey Trump and closed that border and that CB1 up there over there crying in Mexico and return stay in Mexico policy. I'm just trying to scroll through so I can make sure. Okay. So as you know that during this New York City decided to close the Randall's Island this month, Eric Adams, the city plans to shut down the humanitarian emergency response and release it. Oh, by the end of February, my bad. The reason is that the influx of asylum seekers into the city has dramatically dropped. We're not out of the woods, but make no mistake, thanks in large part to our smart management strategies and successful advocacy, we have turned the corner on the crisis, said Adams. We're not scrambling every day to open new shelters. We're talking about closing them. We're not talking about how much we're spending. We're talking about how much we've saved. And thanks to today's announcement, in a few months, we'll be talking about how much we're investing in restoring Randall's Island incredible field back to the community. And during this time, Biden called Trump un American because he said he would send elite squads of ICE, Border Patrol, and federal law enforcement to hunt down, arrest, and deport every last illegal alien gang member until there's not a single one left. If they come back, it's an automatic 10 years in jail with no possibility of parole. And I'm hereby calling for the death penalty for any migrant that kills an American citizen or law enforcement officer. We will close the border. He did that. He did that today at 1 o'clock. I'm gonna make that a different topic. We got a lot to talk about. You coming back?
Yeah. This trash.
Yeah. Hey. All right, let's get back into it because I'm trying to find clear up all this stuff so I can delete this stuff. Oh, okay, here we go. More than 10 million migrants will have crossed that border illegally by the time Biden leaves office, which was today. Thank you, God. According to an estimate by the House Committee on Homeland Security. The administration says its biggest surge last year after Trump era Title 42 ended, and he reinstated that today, remain in Mexico. Many migrants feel that Trump take office January 20, he will bring a complete halt to the Americans' asylum program. And he did just that. I'm gonna show y'all them crying over there. They don't know what to do. My thing is you came across the jungle, now walk your butt. You walked 7,000 miles through 10,000 countries to get here. Now walk yourself right back around, back through the jungle and go home. And 2,000 just left this morning trying to hit the border. But Trump gonna deploy the military now to the border. And this how the caravans was looking that was coming in. Look at that. That's ridiculous. We can't take care of all them people. Should we struggling? Donald Trump says there is no price tag for his mass deportation plan after election win. And he did just that today. Now, this is what he said. He said that crimes identified with immigration and the people have killed and murdered when drug lords have destroyed countries, and now they're going back to those countries because they are not staying here. Thank you, Trump. There's no price tag. It's difficult to know how many undocumented immigrants there are in the U.S., but Patrick Lichlier, the acting director of Immigration Customs, said in July that a mass deportation effort would be a huge logistical and financial challenge. And that's why he won. That's why people voted for him, especially anybody affected by them border states by illegal immigration. That's why he won. Trump said we have to have borders, and they like people coming in, but they have to come in with love for country. They have to come here legally. Facts. He also mentioned the gains he made from 2020. No, I'm not gonna go into that. Maybe I'm gonna do that separately. Well, I think this is the same article. Yep, it is. I had that article twice. Then Trump got his border czar, Tom Homan, vowed to launch America's biggest deportation operation and sparred with AOC, Alexander Cortez. I can't stand her. The border czar, Tom Homeland, uh, let me see, what did he say? President-elect Donald Trump, newly appointed border czar Tom Homan, vowed to launch the biggest deportation office. Holman, who was acting director of immigration and customer enforcement during Trump's first term and oversaw the agency's controversial family separation policy, was tapped by President-elect to take charge of border security. Wait until 2025, he said, no one's off the table. If you're illegally, you better be looking over your shoulder. And that's Tom Homan, and he do not play. Y'all going home. You got my word, he added. Trump comes back in January. I'll be in heels coming back, and I will run the biggest deportation ever seen. Like he said, they're not going to separate families this time. They're just going to deport the whole family. If you want to seek asylum, he said, then go to a port of entry. Do it the legal way. Oh, I didn't know he was a former director of ICE in 20. He retired in 2018. People living in U.S. border town offer insight into why Kamala Harris lost big because of that border. The 80-year-old has lived in Nogales on the border between Mexico and virtually all his life. He says the issue is one of the main reasons he voted for Donald Trump. These are people who are illegally, they don't belong in the United States, he said, and if they need to come in, we welcome them, but they have to be legal. Yep, that is one of the main reasons why she lost. He just let everybody come in. There's been crimes, there's been murder, there've been rapings. It sure have. I think we can get to these videos. Let me see. Give me a minute. I just want to make sure I cleared all this up. Oh, that's, yeah, I can keep going. Man, I watched Trump all day today. I was really happy. Very, 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 very happy when he shut down that immigration. And that's all Biden had to do. He could have slowed that a long time ago. All it took was executive order. I'm trying to figure out who ran the country. Obama. Then we had Lake and Raleigh. A Venezuelan man went hunting for females on the University of Georgia's campus earlier this year and ended up killing and raping nursing student Lake and Raleigh. And now we got the Lake and Raleigh Act that was passed unanimously in the Senate. The man's lawyer, though, said the evidence is circumstantial and doesn't prove his client is guilty. Joseph Aber, who entered the U.S. illegally, is charged with murder, which helped fan the immigration debate during this year's presidential campaign. And Biden here has never apologized, never said nothing, didn't even mention Lake and Raleigh name. And that's the immigrant, the migrant that came there. Prosecutor Sheila Ross told the judge that Iberia entered Encounter Raleigh on February 22nd, so it's been almost a year while she was running at the University of Georgia campus in Athens. She was a student, a nursing student at Augusta University College. When Lake and Raleigh refused to be his rape victim, he bashed her skull in with a rock repeatedly, adding that the evidence would show that Raleigh fought for her life, for her dignity. As a result of that fight, Ibra's DNA was left under her fingernails, Ross said. Riley called 911, and in a struggle over a phone, Ibra's thumbprint was left on the screen, she said. The forensic evidence is sufficient to prove Ibra's guilt, but digital and video evidence also prove that Ibra killed Riley. The evidence in this case is very good that Lake and Riley was murdered. Anyway, he ended up being sentenced to life in prison, as well as those two that raped and kidnapped that 12-year-old girl in Texas. They getting life too. Now, mass deportation could be a potential impact in Michigan's workforce, where I am. Anna Glenn, managing attorney at Immigrant Rights Center, feels mass deportation will have a huge impact on Michigan economic and workforce. There's a lot of fear right now within that community. That community, immigrants really are and have been for a long time an essential part of our country and what makes us prosperous. The new administration's policy will have a widespread impact throughout the food system. When you look at agriculture in particular, which is one of Michigan's top industries, we're talking about a huge impact to our economy if a huge portion of that workforce is scared to go to work, is detained, or is removed from the country. Galandes worries that the immigration system is already limited and further restrictions could make it worse. And we just want them out of here. I know I do. They done did enough. And that's the killer, and that's Laken Rock. That's who he murdered. Trump confirms plans to use military to deport migrants. He's sending the military in. They should be there tomorrow. Oh, I'm almost done with this. Thank you. I can delete all this stuff. Okay, I'm not even going to talk about that. Tende de Wagwa has already set up shop in these 16 states. They got to go. The gang has foothold in California, Colorado, Florida, Georgia, Illinois, Louisiana, Nevada, New Jersey, New York, North Carolina, and Tennessee, Texas, and Wisconsin, according to the Post. These are 16 states. Gang has only increased its violent tendencies as it spreads. Trinidad Nicaragua arrival in the nation's capital and nearby Virginia coincided with increases in migrant population. As the population of Venezuelan nationals continues to increase, the potential for violent TDA migrants is a high probability. In one case, a suspected TDA member withdrew 118,000 from a Florida bank and wired the money to a bank account in Venezuela before any fraud was detected. Wow. Wow. Now, in Wyoming, a TDA member is being held in a Wyoming jail. We have a person in jail who is suspected of being TDA who is being held for trial in December for possession of a car that was stolen in Colorado. So they stealing cars too. This is the only arrest of a TDA member in Wyoming. He was just passing through when he was arrested. We have not seen an increase in Venezuelan migrants in Wyoming, especially the criminal gang type. I'm just about done. Oh yeah, I got to do that before he get released. Hmm. I just got sleepy. Oh, that's Africa Bombada. No, no, no. I think I'm just about done. Oh, wait a minute. Alleged MS-13 gang member. Others arrested by Border Patrol in Chula Vista. In 2024, the San Diego Border Patrol caught 26 alleged gang members, a 62.5% increase from 2023, trying to enter. Agents questioned a man in a group of people about his citizenship, and the man claimed to be a Mexican citizen. The individual and the rest of the group were arrested and transported to a nearby Border Patrol agency. At the station, it was discovered the man had provided a false biographical information to avoid revealing his true identity. Border officials said the man was a 32-year-old MS-13 gang member from El Salvador. His name was not released. He was being held in custody by the Department of Homeland Security pending an expedited removal. Oh no, we don't want to do that, Rothschild. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just trying to get this stuff going. Mm, I'm so sleepy. I don't know what's this. Oh, I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm trying to get through this, and I'm falling asleep all at the same time. Let me see what date am I on. I apologize. I'm just trying to get through this. I don't think that Luigi did that CEO. Unalive that CEO. I don't believe it at all. Not at all. And we got to come to find what them drones doing. Mm-mm. Is that it? Man, I'm sleepy. I'm still on that Luigi cat. Dick Van Dyke almost lost his home, but his neighbors helped him. Oh, Jada and Will Smith lost their home today. This is about them drones. I'm gonna do something separate on that. Feds raid migrant Tunde Laraga gang house in New York City after tracking GPS ankle monitor to hide out. Now, this was in December. Federal agents nabbed a migrant Tenderiaga gang crew holed up in a Bronx apartment after tracking one of their ankle monitors to the hideout. The December 5th raid at the apartment building on the edge of Cortona Park, conducted by the Federal Task Force made up of Homeland Security Investigations and NYPD. This is one of the guys they arrested. The raid was nonetheless a significant blow to TDA. Law enforcement said the gang has recruited inside tax funded migrant shelters and runs violent theft and robbery crews while peddling drugs, guns, and women in all five boroughs. Meanwhile, Valero Caledon, the migrant fugitive whose ankle monitor led the feds to the gang, dodged the law several times before the Bronx raid. He didn't look 22, did he? That's the raid. He was twice busted on larceny charges in New York and New Jersey, which led to a conviction in June 2023 after a separate petty larceny conviction in Nassau County on April 24th, 2023. He blew off the mandatory check-in with immigration authorities and was marked as a fugitive, yet somehow remained free despite a subsequent Florida arrest on February 17th this year for fraud, larceny, and resisting arrest. He was ordered deported April 25th last year, but was still on the loose. All of the illegal minors were identified by federal immigration as members of TDA. The gang and an underage offsuit, Diablo de la 42 or Devils of 42nd Street, have landed on NYPD's radar in recent months, including for a rash of heights in Times Square. The tiny tiers, some as young as 11, have exploited the state's lax criminal justice and juvenile detention statuses to remain on the streets despite troubling rap sheets. Wow. Mm. Did y'all know Biden pardoned his whole family? And what time is? I probably have to do a part two. I got to get up in the morning. Oh, excuse me. I want to get through this part, then I can just show the videos. Then the woman was set on fire by that Guatemalan. The woman was discovered while on fire inside a stationary subway train at Stillwell Avenue in Brooklyn by that Guatemalan guy. And we got to talk about the remaining YSL members too. Young Thug, he won his lawsuit. We got to talk about that. R. Kelly might get released. I'm gonna do some on Q Anon. Do y'all remember Q Anon? Yeah, I'm gonna make this a part two because I'm sleepy, and I started out sleepy as well. But I want to get through these articles that I did on my phone. Man, that's a long article. Oh, then they killed the border patrol Mexican border patrol agent December 31st. Mexico detained suspects in death of migration agent near the U.S. border. That was in Jerez. The slain agent was attacked at checkpoint just south of Jerez, which is across the border from U.S. city of El Paso, when he asked an unspecific number of foreign nationals for their identification. The death of the migration official comes as would-be migrants await an expected tightening on entry to the United States. Well, they can't get in now. So they got all the suspects and now they detained in Mexico. That's going to be rough for them. Then after that, New York PD identifies woman set on fire. They finally identified her. She was a homeless woman. Hearts go out to her family after a horrific incident like that. Wow. And she was 57-year-old Debrina Quan from Towns River. She is believed to have been homeless and was sleeping on the subway when she was set on fire. Wow. Y'all think Trump can bring back the American dream? Y'all know R. Kelly might get out. He might get out because they charged him with RICO. How's one person in a RICO? That's crazy. Justin Trudeau resigned. Did I say tell you Biden? He he pardoned his whole damn family before he walked up out the White House. Now what do that tell you? What do that tell you? Oh, then we gotta talk about that Jarvis butt since I'm in Detroit. And then I gotta do part 3 of that fire. Hush! She and he. Yep, I gotta do part 3 of that fire. Yep, tomorrow I'm gonna do we're gonna do Mayor Brandon Johnson, the worst mayor in the country. I don't know after them fines, Karen Bass might be worse than him. Shoot. Oh, they said Will and Jada Pickett Smith house burnt down today. Sure did. Yeah, Karen Bass, she pretty awful too. That's that DEI hire. I'm glad they getting rid of that program. I really am. Oh, Russia told their citizens do not visit the United States. They was mad that Michelle Obama did not go to the inauguration. If she didn't want to go, she didn't want to go. That's how I look at that. They be worried about. I think people be worried about the wrong stuff. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. I'm sorry. So tomorrow we're gonna get. It's gonna be a part 2. I gotta go to work tomorrow. Love y'all. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Thank y'all, and thank you for all my new subscribers. Good night.